Thank you. Thank you all for coming to our fourth Loo in Portland. And this Loo actually started, Patty Gardner, when was it that we did the tour through here?
You first got into office. That's not long ago.
Was it
2008. No. It was longer than that.
So it was longer.
It was a year after you got into office.
Really? So 2003? 2003 or 4. So 6 years ago, I walked with Patricia Gardner and some other moms. Are they here?
No, they're not.
Okay. And some other moms, and we walked through the neighborhood to identify some of the issues that the neighborhood has, because this was a neighborhood that, when I grew up in Portland, was a warehouse district and was very much different than it is today. And basically the moms were saying they needed daycare for kids. They'd like to get a preschool for the kids down here and a number of other amenities. And I remember we walked by here and they said, and really one of our more important needs is to have a restroom, because none of the shops around here like to have people who are not customers use their shops for restrooms. And people with children, not just from the Pearl, but from all over Portland, come to Jamison's Square to use the great swimming pool and amenities that it is. But 3-year-old kids, they don't really draw a distinction between there being a restroom or not when they have to go. So it made the problem in Jamison Square really particularly acute, even compared to other parts of the city. So I promised them that we would do what we could to get a restroom here, and lo and behold, 6 years later, we couldn't find one that actually fit the Pearl, so we designed one. It's a beautiful restroom. It's patented. Portland owns the patent to this restroom. We sell them to other cities. San Diego is currently in the process of purchasing 2 of them. We're hoping to see this kind of restroom in other cities, not just this kind, but this restroom in other cities around the United States. And we're real proud that the Pearl is the last one to get one in Portland until we can get some more funding. But I really want to especially recognize Patty Gardner for not just the walking tour the year that we walked around, but her ongoing leadership on this issue. Not everybody, you may be shocked to hear, thinks this is the greatest idea in the world. And there are diverging opinions, but Patty and the leadership of the neighborhood have been consistent and very clear that this is something that this neighborhood needs to improve livability, not just for the kids, but for everybody, all citizens of Portland. So we appreciate not only the work they've been doing at the other 3 Loos to prove that they're successful, and if you do them right, they are safe, and they are actually an addition to a community, not just a place for people to use a restaurant, but they can actually be an aesthetic positive for a neighborhood, as I think you can all see from this, including the wonderful artwork that is specific to this neighborhood. I also want to thank Brass Creative, you're welcome, for helping us market the Loo. We're, as I said, undergoing quite an effort to not just have these installed throughout the communities that make up Portland, but throughout different cities as well, and Brass Creative has been very helpful with us. I want to also recognize the great work of Ross Turkis, Sarah Fine, and Ann Hill for the Loo artwork that is from the Lovejoy columns. It's very cool. And I want to also recognize the artistic relic that the column is for one of the founders of the River District, William Jamison, and for which this park is named. And now the grand opening. The mayor actually flushed the first one. A member of our staff, Stu Oishi, flushed the second one. The guy that cleans them, Rodney Haven, is Rodney here? Rodney's not here? No. He actually had the honor of flushing the third one. He actually, if you go to YouTube and plug in Portland Loo, you'll see a video of Rodney Haven, and the pride that he has is of cleaning our Loos. It's very cool. But today, the honor, I think, has to go to the person that represents the users that will mostly use this, and that is a brave young man by the name of Clark Bradley, who's here with his mom and dad Clay and Leslie Bradley. Clark is 3 years old, and Clark is Thank you, Clark. So we get all the cameras over here so you can see Clark do his thing.
Let's go. Ready?
Well, you know, Mom can do it too.
Yeah, give it a push. 2, 3.
Oh, yay! So if anybody's been drinking a lot of coffee this morning, now the Loo is yours. Thank you all for coming.
We have a lot of people in our community who are obviously very concerned about bathrooms.
Yeah.
A number of working people about bathrooms. And so I just wanted to know if you had any idea about the future of the Loo. Are there more? I know the funding, Randy just said, is coming through, but are you hopeful that there's going to be more funding for additional Loos?
Absolutely. I think the vision of the city is that you don't have to think about where to go to the bathroom. It becomes like one of those things where it's easy to go to the bathroom wherever you are. And, you know, in the grand scheme, you know, and I hope this, I'm pretty sure this is Randy's master plan, you know, you would be able to walk every 10 blocks and find a bathroom, where it doesn't have to be an issue where you have to, you know, go behind a bush, you know, that it's just like your right as a human to be able to go to the bathroom wherever you are.
And then is the Loo like the ultimate solution from your perspective, or is there other options that are being thought of?
The Loo's the one I know about. The Loo's the one that is convenient to this city. I mean, I know that there are other examples in other cities, but I think they've put a lot of thought into it. So for Portland, I think this is a good solution.
Can you speak a little bit about sort of like, okay, you mentioned the funding question around more Loos, but I just heard that you have more of a vision of like, you know, many more Loos, like,
yes,
like being able to walk anywhere in the city and be able to go to the bathroom. And for Sisters of the Road, a lot of members of our community, you know, really express bathrooms as being a big thing, especially when, you know, you gotta go, and whether or not you're gonna get a ticket for that, or going to the bathroom in a place that's clean and safe, you know, is a big question. So I just wondered if you could talk a little bit about the future plans and where you're standing right now.
Well, I just think in a civilized society, and particularly in a city like Portland, it is a basic human right to be able to relieve yourself in dignity. And we put people in the position all throughout Portland of not having a place to be able to relieve themselves with even a minimum amount of dignity. And so it's cool that in the background we're hearing the toilet flush.
Yeah.
It's so relevant to our discussion. I just think it's a basic human right, and I think it's something that the city should have done a long time ago. And so I want to expand the number of public restrooms so that they are within walking distance of any urban area in the city that has commercial businesses and a congregation of people. I think it's important.
And in lieu of more funding and you know, the need growing every day, are there some other options that you're thinking about just in the immediate terms? I mean, we know we have some bathrooms that are lackluster at best, that are existing bathrooms, and then we have some questions around, you know, like using the bus, you know, the bathrooms in the bus stops or stuff. Is there things that the city council or you are exploring that, like, in the short term are going to get more bathrooms online? Are you thinking of any of those
Well,
things?
of course, I remember this whole thing started with me when the council debated under Tom Potter whether to open a public restroom in City Hall or not. And I just thought it was absurd, and I said so at the time. And it actually inspired me to create 24-hour restrooms in the downtown area. So we went from having none to now 4 in the downtown area. And the 4 that are located are actually conveniently enough located that I think for most people, particularly homeless people that are downtown, they can walk to one of the 4 for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Having said that, I think we do need more that are further south downtown. We do need more around Portland State. We do need more in the Rose Quarter, or at least one in the Rose Quarter. So I actually don't want to take the focus off what we've done by coming up with another kind of bathroom. These are $56,000 a piece. It isn't cheap, but in the grand scheme of things, other cities have spent more than $200,000 or greater amounts per bathroom. These are cheap, they drop into place, they run on solar power, they don't need to be hooked up to AC. All they need is a source of water and a place for the sewage to go. And they're pretty easy to maintain. And they're nearly indestructible. They're made of solid steel. And so I want more. I'm asking the council this next year to fund more of these so I can install more of them, because I think this is what we should be doing. My experience is if you chain up a portable toilet to a stop street sign or a light pole somewhere, it'll stay. And I don't. First of all, I don't think those do much for dignity. And second, they're ugly. And I think we can concentrate on having these look good and installed throughout the city and get it done.
And so there's also just the final question would be, you know, there was I remember reading over how you were planning to sell the design, like you were saying, to San Diego. Is there still a potential to, you know, sell the designs, and for every sale you make, that's funding for the, is that how this?
It is, and to be clear, we're not selling the design. We own the patent.
Yeah.
We're selling the product.
Yeah.
We actually have a local manufacturer, Greg Madden, who produces these in Northwest Portland, makes them right here in Portland, and we take orders either through him or through our City Hall website, and our goal is to sell these to as many cities as we can throughout the country.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.